Well, good morning. It's not great light there, is it? Welcome back to 9 Little Aussies. I'm Chrissy, and today I am in the garden again, my favorite place. I am planting out some, excuse my voice, I have had some kind of something and I've lost my voice, but I am out in, not quite lost it, it's just gone all croaky. Out in the garden, and I am succession sowing some tomatoes for a second, hopefully, second crop. I'm just going to put them, see the blue pots there, I'm going to put them along this fence. I've planted, let me see if you can see this, some sweet potato slips along here where the potatoes were, just in between. I got some corn. Our corn is not doing great. Like, it looks good, but there's some kind of something. Don't you love how specific I am? Some kind of something eating it. So this is all down inside the stems of a lot of them. Now, these ones were planted a bit earlier and they are going to ahead, and so I don't know, I just don't know if we'll get any corn off this or not. So I'm putting sweet potatoes in the main part of the bed. I've got some more in this that I'm going to fill this gap here with, that's actually just potatoes that have gone to seed in the pantry, but I'm going to put tomatoes down the back to grow up that fence. I have extra tomatoes left over that have just been sitting over there in pots, kind of not doing anything. And I was thinking, you know, I offered them to friends, but no one needed extra tomatoes. And I thought, well, I may as well put them in the ground and see if we can't get a second wave of fruit from them. All right, so we've been out here a while. I have planted all of the tomatoes along there. Now, sweet potatoes, I have grown them before, and back home in Australia, and the only way I've done them is to just have some sweet potatoes in the pantry, wait till they sprout, cut them up so that there's one little sprouting nodule, and plant that. So I'll show you what I mean. So I have cut these sweet potatoes so that each little piece has a sprout. Like this one has quite a bit off of it. Some of them it's only little. Now, I know that some people say you've got to you put them in water and then you wait for it to root and then plant it. I haven't done that before, so what I'm going to do, I've always just chucked these in the ground and then watered them and they take off. But I've kept a couple inside that I'm going to put in water and see if they root, and I'm doing the rest like this. And this year I'm growing some from slips, these sweet potato slips, and I have never grown them from slips before either, so that's a new thing for me. So we'll get these in the ground. Summer is definitely here in all of its vibrancy and color and all of its heat. We are doing our best to spend most of our time outside, early morning or late evening, enjoying all of the beauty that is part of summer, enjoying the color, enjoying the brightness and the energy and the sunlight and all of the richness of the garden right now. It is a beautiful time of year, it really is, but it is very, very hot. So we're trying to balance that with spending time in the cool. The kids have spent a lot of time either at our neighbor's pool or making slip and slides or running under sprinklers and just trying to keep themselves cool while they play. With the onset of summer, it's also changed my habits in the kitchen and trying to do less hot baking and more icy poles and cool treats. We have
been eating a lot more salads, enjoying the beauty of the garden coming inside and the bright colours in the house, eating a lot more cold, light and easy dinners that don't involve a lot of baking. I have also tried for the first time Jess's basil tea from Roots and Refuge.
There's a Cooney tub thing. Taste how good it is. You good? I don't like this one, but I do like the taste.
No, that's pretty good.
You like it?
I do.
I like it too, Dad.
Straight out of the garden.
That'll be very refreshing.
Mm-hmm. It's got honey and lemon and basil.
Well, I like it too.
Okay.
Good morning. It is several days later. Having my morning coffee and coming out here to the garden to turn a sprinkler on because it's going to be another 100-degree day, I think. And we've had heat advisories the last several days. Look at this. Some of the garden is really wilting and fading under this heat, but I can't get enough of these sunflowers. They're just delightful. I have definitely decided I need to plant another stash of them all over the place for the fall garden. I definitely want to do that. They're just so cheery, and they're definitely probably the things that are looking the best right now. I think these cream peas are about ready to be harvested. The okra is coming in thick and fast at the moment. It's just started about a week ago, and the cucumbers we can barely keep up with. They're just everywhere. The eggplants are coming in. I've already harvested a few. I actually planted 3 different varieties of eggplant, and so there was a long green one. Let's see if I can try and find it for you. A long green one and a purple speckledy kind of one, and then these black beauty ones, which are the ones that these are the only ones I've ever grown before, the sort of normal ones that you buy in the shops. But I thought I'd try something different. And the others obviously come in a bit earlier than these black ones. Someone said the other day, and I think you're right, I think this end of the garden is looking really good. This little middle section where we have no sun is struggling. We have lots of sun is struggling. And then the other end where we've got shade again. And this, we had very similar issues to this in Australia. Very, very similar, very, very hot climate where we were. Oh, here's the other eggplant. So these long green ones, they don't change colour, they stay green. So we in Australia had planted, this is my little banana tree. And the way we dealt with the heat, intense heat through summer in Australia, was to plant bananas in the garden, and they grew up and just provided a canopy layer for the rest of the garden. So here's my little banana tree, and I will say, I don't, for whatever reason, this has not grown anywhere near as fast. And we did use shade cloth in the very first season of our garden in Australia. We used shade cloth, and purely really for budgetary reasons I have not done that here. And we only needed to use it in the first season of the garden in Australia, because by the time the second season rolled round, our banana trees had grown and they were providing a beautiful canopy and like emergent layer that was shading all of the veggies, and everything thrived. So I might have to see about what is going to be the best thing to do that here in Texas. Our corn is growing. Don't know what kind of a crop we'll get, but we do have some heads of corn, don't we, Bubba? Little head of corn growing in there.
I want to eat corn.
You want to eat it? It's not ready yet. So I know bananas won't typically fruit here because of the freeze. They're just a really good plant to have in the garden and then chop and drop for a mulch layer. So the bananas, I know I'm going to keep on going with it and see if it'll grow more. We have friends that have banana trees here and they just die back every winter and then come back again, and they don't necessarily fruit, but they're very useful in the garden, not just for fruit. So we'll see. But I may need to see what else I can grow. Those sunflowers over there are doing great as a nice tall plant to help protect everything underneath. And I do think maybe that's why the bush beans that are growing under them are doing better than the pole beans on the other side. So I think, yeah, just have to slowly figure out what works best. Here's the other eggplant I'll show you that's been coming in. This little purple guy, isn't he cute? So pretty. It's all looking a bit wild and woolly right now. But the okra just love the heat. We had the same thing. I used okra in Australia as well as a bit of a cover plant to shade the understory plants from the heat. And it's like the hotter it gets, the happier the okra is. It just loves it. We'll see. That banana plant is taking a lot longer to grow than I had hoped. But I'll keep watering it and see what happens. And I am right now, I'm really getting excited about the fall garden. I am going to continue to succession sow some more summer crops. Like I said the other day, we've put in another lot of tomatoes. I've now put those sweet potatoes in. Oh, and the ones that are on the windowsill are starting to sprout, so I'll find somewhere to put them as well. Oh, and something else I'm going to show you. So a few videos ago I was planting out oh my goodness, what's it called, asparagus. And I said, oh, I'm so late planting, I don't even know if it'll come up, I don't know if it's going to do anything. Well, and I just put them in random spots in the garden because my problem was, and the reason for the delay is I couldn't decide where to put them. I was just being indecisive and like, oh, I don't know what to do with these. So this one has come up, little baby asparagus. And these ones over here near my ginger, these ones have come up as well. I just saw this the other day and I was like, oh, how exciting. I did not know if they were going to make it. So here, there's 3 there. There's another little baby one over here. So that is very, very exciting. And you know, I probably haven't put it in the best place, but at least I've got it in the ground. As I'm sure many of you are experiencing, the challenge right now is keeping up with the harvest. So my kitchen bench is just covered with eggplants and cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers. The only ones that I'm really having great luck with here are the hot peppers. I've got so many jalapenos and other hot peppers that I don't even know what they're called. So that's on the job today, is processing all of that. And the other thought I have had about that junky little section I showed you in the front yard that I'm like just totally neglecting, I thought I might put some pumpkins out there. If I plant them, I worked out the other day that with the amount of days left in the growing season, I've still got another about 20 days I could plant them and still get to a harvest before the frost. So I thought I might do that. I might put some pumpkins out there and at least make some use of that no man's land. Gave these guys some fresh water. They are just so lovely and quiet. Did you know that Muscovy ducks do not quack? Isn't that funny? We went to our friend's property who gave us these ducklings, and she must have had, I don't know, Kathy, how many ducks do you have? Like a lot of ducks. Like I am thinking there had to be, I don't know, 100, 50, 100. I'm actually really bad. Ask any of my family. I'm really bad at judging numbers. I'm terrible with numbers. They were all following us around just like, and all you could hear was the pad, 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 and kind of shuffling noises as they waddled. No quacking, not a sound. Quiet as a mouse. They're just lovely. And I love how many variations there are in the colorings. They're just so lovely. The other day when I posted the video on garden disappointments, I had some people give me some really great ideas, and one of which a fellow Texan, I think they said they were a bit further north, but that if I kind of nurse my capsicums, bell peppers through the worst of the heat and pick off any early fruit so that they can bush out, then they'll give me a harvest in the fall. So I thought that's a really great idea. So I have done that. I came through, and I can't remember who it was that said that, but thank you. I am doing that. I'm going to try that idea. So I have picked off all of the, or just about all. I might have missed a couple. I think I saw one I missed. But I've picked off most of the early capsicums, what you guys call bell peppers. And I'm just going to nurse them through and try and, maybe give them more worm compost and a bit more mulch, and maybe even throw some food scraps down. Someone else suggested that. And just see if I can nurse them through this intense heat and see what happens in the autumn. So that's my plan with those. So there's this little section here I'm hand watering because the sprinkler didn't reach it. I moved my sprinklers. I'm trying a slightly different system. I have been trying to hand water
most of the garden, and honestly just to conserve the water, because then I'm not watering the lawn, and I really don't need to be watering the lawn. It's not really a priority to me, so it's the gardens I want to have watered. But also I've got to balance that with all of the other jobs I have to do. So some days I just don't have the time to sit for an hour out here and hand water everything, so that's when I'm using the sprinklers. You may or may not remember quite a few videos ago, the kids and I went out into this area over the fence here into the back where I had deeply wood chipped it. The chickens were there, we kept the chooks there over winter, but the wood chips were not broken down enough to be a garden just yet. However, I decided to go out and just kind of hand sow a bit of a cover crop, and we put okra, cowpeas, so a bunch of flowers, like just all different things out there. And I didn't really know if anything would come up. And I did have some pumpkins come up, which unfortunately were the first things the chooks decided to eat when they got out. But a lot of it is doing well. So you can see especially the okra. It's a tough old thing, the okra. There's a bit of, I think a bit of corn come up there, and there's quite a few of the cowpeas all just spread over this area. So who knows, we may even get a decent, nice little harvest off that, as well as it feeding the soil in preparation for a future season. Another thing I'm just contemplating as I water the garden here is, as I look around, it just occurred to me that pretty much some of it's looking a bit howdy-doody, but pretty much this whole garden I grew from seed. I'm just trying to think. The only thing I didn't grow from seed, I did put some marigolds in that we bought. Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything else was from seed. Oh, the sweet potato slips. Obviously they weren't a seed. And they're coming along now too. These guys. Get this weed while I'm here. Yeah, but pretty much everything else in the garden I grew from seed, and that just blows my mind, the abundance that can come from a few teeny tiny little seeds. And it's so much cheaper and more affordable than if this would have cost me a lot if I'd have grown it all from seedlings or starts. But growing from seeds, you can get, and quite a few of these. So this sunflower, so pretty. It's an heirloom, open pollinated heirloom, so I can save the seeds. These big mammoth guys are not, they're a hybrid. But anywhere where I can, there's I will say not a lot of what I used was open pollinated, because I just went with what I had that was the cheapest available at the time. But some of it is, and I have kept all the seed packets so I can look back and see which ones I can save the seeds. I have just spotted these little guys. They are so cute. Wonder what they are. So I've got these peppers, which were the first to fruit. But hiding down in here are these little round ones. Oh my goodness, they're adorable.
That's a fun discovery. I planted a mixed packet of hot peppers, and I thought everything was turning out to look like this, and that is spicy. So it's not one of the banana peppers that are not spicy, that is spicy. Oh, and here's some more of these little round guys that aren't red yet. And I thought those, when I first saw them coming to fruit, I thought they were going to be jalapenos, but they're these little globes. I don't know. So does anyone know what they are? They're super cute. I'll have to try one and see what they're like. Oh, that's fun. Crepe myrtles are just in full bloom right now, and I love them. They're so bright and cheery, and yet somehow kind of soft and unassuming at the same time. Well, I think that's about all I have today on my little garden update. Just a little pottery kind of snippets out of the garden as I do little things that need doing, and share with you some of my excitement about the little discoveries, the asparagus and those little round peppers. They're so cute. But it is time for me to go inside and think about preserving. That's my job for today. Out of this heat, we've got the garden nice and watered, so hopefully it will be okay now for another day. And I will go get busy and let the bees do their business out here. There's lots of wasps too. Thanks for joining me here at 9 Little Aussies in my garden. I really love that you're here. I love sharing this journey with you as we document our little life here and what we're trying to do, growing food and just living a healthy, simple life. Thanks for being here. Sunshine and raindrops to each and every one of you. Until next time.